sending a couple of teachers to come to the seminar so that the teachers can begin to understand what it is that we are doing, okay, and see how they themselves can then get involved in rolling this out to some of their own students, within the school system. And these are now teachers who are parents and are people like you and I. Yeah. They are actually going to come there and enjoy that. At one of the very first seminars that we had parents who came in from Riara, and I'm sure I'm not allowed to speak and say who they are. But these parents initially came in and they just wanted to make sure, what is Dr. Weche telling the students? What is Professor Chirima teaching the students? So they said, we'd sit in for 1 hour and listen. That 1 hour became 2 hours, 3 hours, the whole day. These particular parents ended up sitting throughout the entire training, and yet the training was for their children. Of course, it was a bit uncomfortable for the children having your parents sitting with you in the same hall, but that's exactly how powerful it actually is.
But then, of course, it makes the communication for the child to the parent much easier.
Yes, that is why we have students that we rejoice, like one Wambui Mburu, who is now currently a student at the African Leadership Academy in Johannesburg, South Africa. She was able to come, and she was able to go through that kind of training, and then she was able to engage with us, with her parents, and I'll feel free to say her parents, her father is Mr. Isaac Chege. He was able to now engage with us and ask us now, what are you telling my daughter? How can you add value to her? Critically analyze what is it that we're saying. So when his daughter was admitted to the African Leadership Academy, we are the first ones to rejoice with that. And thereafter, we've continued this kind of mentorship, engagement, and relationship. And recently, we had the opportunity of helping her come and meet alumni from Harvard Business School. There is what is known as the Africa Business Club at Harvard Business School that encourages African students to now come and consider studying at Harvard for both their undergraduate as well as their master's programs. So we're able to bring her there, even though she's already at the African Leadership Academy, where she's already being mentored by the likes of Michelle Obama and Desmond Tutu. But even in coming back to Kenya and being with us, she's able now to meet Harvard alumni, she's able to meet current students of Harvard and be challenged about the opportunity of going forward. So these are the kind of relationships that we now want to bring in. And for those who may not necessarily want to, go out to Harvard, there are great universities here, like Norero University and Riara University, and we're more than glad to facilitate that process. For example, Riara right now in the law program, for those who have got particular kind of grades, there are particular kind of scholarship options that are available. So those are the kind of things we're going to be letting students know. While you are right here, there are scholarship options for those who are going to score particular kind of grades, there are particular kind of fee waivers, so that you don't start looking and thinking that I can't afford to go there. If you're already working hard and you've got the kind of grades, and everybody knows that you're doing that, let's go for it. Let's not just sit back and give up.
So, right, not too long ago there was news about the universities now, like we mentioned, some universities have been said that they are offering courses that they are not registered to offer. And this could be posing a challenge as well, even as you encourage students to apply to such universities. How are you going about that?
Well, that one is slightly outside my breadth of area to speak, even though I do lecture in the executive MBA program at Norero University. I cannot now start speaking about certain areas. But clearly there are areas where universities have been accredited, where the Commission for Higher Education has actually been able to give them the documentation that shows they are authorized and they are legally able to offer those particular kind of courses. Sadly, the educational sector does have other fly-by-night operatives who are very keen to come in and cash in and fleece people. So this is why we challenge people and tell them, take the time to begin your due diligence early. When students start doing that early, they start engaging with this kind of concepts early and those kind of universities early. Then by the time they get to that point where they now want to make those kind of decisions, they are not going to perish for lack of knowledge. So that is why we're very happy to engage with Norero University, we're very happy to engage with Riara University, we're very happy to invite any other university that want to come in. There are colleges like the Kenya Aeronautical College that offers aviation training, there's a Fly 99 Club who are also coming in. We just want to ensure that people have that information. Then you do your due diligence, so that if you feel you want to take a risk with a shady college, then that's going to be up to you. But quite honestly, would rather that you establish the kind of networks with reputable universities and programs, get to know the deans of those colleges, get to know the lecturers, get to have a one-on-one relationship with them, so that by the time the students are making those kind of decisions, it's not in shock. Yes.
What does it take? What criteria should one use when choosing a career?
Well, Dr. Weche talked about that test that will be given to all students. Really, it is about discovering who you are, and I don't think you can ever be too young to do that. Sir Ken Robinson wrote a fascinating book about how a lot of young people are actually perishing in their careers because they're not allowing their creative side to come out. And again, we've seen this, for most Kenyan families, they would want their young people to go into, professions like law or becoming a doctor or an engineer. Whereas there is so much creativity, and we can see that bubbling through the surface, through our entertainers, through our sports people. We have such talent in this particular country, but unfortunately it is not being allowed to flourish. So hopefully through seminars like this, and I think Dr. Weche mentioned we're even getting an organization, I think they're called Vision 21, who are going to come and talk about a sports career, whether it's in football or athletics or basketball, and that the scholarships are there. It's really about allowing students to find out who they truly are. And I'm actually going to be talking about that a lot, so that you can be the best you that you can be, and that you're in a career. And it's not about, the money, but it is about finding personal fulfillment and success.
Right. And in terms of making a career choice, choosing one profession over another, what determines that?
Well, I wouldn't ask a student to necessarily choose one career over another. I would normally ask them a criteria that is based on 3 points. What is your best case scenario? What's your medium case? And what's your worst case scenario? So your best case scenario should hopefully be taking note of all the areas of your strengths. We encourage the students to do a SWOT analysis about themselves. What are your strengths, your weaknesses, your opportunities, and your threats? So your best case is looking at your strengths and your opportunities, and you're putting them together. But your worst case is also looking at a situation whereby you have got very serious weaknesses. For example, I was never too good at cramming, okay? Those particular weaknesses can then become threats, because you're going to fail examinations. For example, like biochemistry, if you do not know the structure of the Krebs cycle, for those who are in medicine, they'll understand that. If you cannot repeat the Krebs cycle, how it is in detail, you're failed, okay? So understand where are your strengths. Now, in areas of your strengths, there are particular careers that are available. And those are careers that you'll be able to walk into, and it will be like a breeze, okay, for that student. They'll not have to be burning the midnight oil. They'll not have to stop having a social life and things like that. So we challenge students and say, can you now choose those parts of particular kind of careers? In the process, of course, it might upset your parents, okay? Now begin dialoguing with your parents and tell them, please, these are my areas of strengths. These are the courses that are available in the market. This is how I see myself going forward. But these are now areas of my weaknesses. I would rather avoid this particular kind of careers. So in the areas of your strengths, you will definitely maybe find 1, 2, or 3. And when Professor Tirima takes students through this, she shows them that for people who have particular kind of traits, they tend to, for example, become doctors or lawyers or firemen or teachers or this or that and the other. And she shares her own experience. One of the greatest advantages about us is we're going to have over 15 professionals who come there, and they're going to share from their own personal experiences. You cannot take that away from someone, what they have personally experienced. You have a personal story as to how you came here. Derek has his personal story. And those are the things that now touch us in our hearts and in our minds. Even after we've forgotten all the theory and the details about A, B, C, D and the technical issues, we will remember the human stories behind us.
All right, just hold it there. I understand we have a caller online.
Okay.
Hello?
Hello.
Yes, just tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
Okay, I'm going live.
Sorry?
Hello?
Yes?
Hello?
Yes, just say your name and
I
where...
wanted to ask a question.
Yes?
Okay, I wanted to do food science and technology. But I'm not sure of myself. I don't know whether I should, because I just passed the 2 subjects, but I used to be interested.
Well, we seem to have lost that caller, but it looks like he's in a confused state right now.
Well, if I can mention, the area of food science and technology is going to be addressed by a gentleman called Mr. Kenyo Mbijiwe. Mr. Kenyo Mbijiwe is the CEO of Monsanto. And Mr. Kenyo Mbijiwe has come to our previous talks as well, has challenged students on how they can be able to pursue that particular career. And he's able to also bring out issues regarding that particular industry, not only just in Kenya, but globally. Right now he's in Italy, so I'm mentioning his name without permission. I know he will not see this show. But, that's the kind of people that we want actually to come and see that. One of my own personal good friends who works with the UN in Ethiopia, I don't know if I can mention his name, Mr. Simon Joy, his daughter will also be coming because she specifically wants to learn about the food science and technology field. And the advantage about coming for our kind of seminars is that now we put you in touch with these professionals. We actually allow you to meet them, talk with them, network with them, and then the best thing about it is that you have a relationship after the seminar. We request opportunities for job shadowing, where a student like this one who was called, I presume is a student, can then be able to visit those kind of industries, see what it is that they do, and find out whether there are opportunities for them to grow in that area. Maybe they might even look for opportunities for internship over and above just the job shadowing. And who knows, maybe they're going to actually grow in that career.
Or maybe they might decide it's not what they want.
Exactly. Like those who now want to do human medicine, with all due respect, I will take you to Chirongo campus, I'll introduce you to a cadaver, and then, you know what a cadaver is?
Yes, a dead body.
Yes.
Right.
So some see that dead body and they decide,
this is it.
This is it.
I understand we have another caller online. Just give us your name and where you are calling us from.
Hello.
Yes.
I'm Nur from Nairobi.
All right.
There's a young cadet 09. And though I score B plus in KTC, then I'm in dilemma whether what course I will be doing. Yeah, I need the advice.
Right. I
Well,
guess.
the best advice I can give you right now is to attend our seminar next week, and we will answer all your questions about what course you can go into.
Right. Maybe you can say where will the course be, from what time to what time? Is it a leave-in course? Is it a day course?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. The course is on the 10th, the 11th, the 13th, and the 14th of December. So this is next week. So Monday and Tuesday. Wednesday is a public holiday, so we won't have any course running during that day. And then the 13th and the 14th, Thursday and Friday. The course is at Braeside, which is on Muthangari Road, and this is going to be in the large theatre. So we have seating accommodation there for up to 400 students. And the course will start at 8:30, I believe, every morning.
Well, registration 8:15,
8:15.
but it starts at 8:30. Yeah.
Starts at 8:30 and will run on for the whole day until 4:30, I think.
4:30. After that, we have a personal session of talking back and forth. So that's you're free to come and engage with us, but you can plan to leave by 5:30. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I'm sure everybody wants to know how much is this going to cost.
Yeah.
It is 3,750 shillings per day. So if you attend it for the 4 days, which we encourage everyone to do, it comes to 15,000 shillings.
With a discount. Or
Well, the discount we have offered has been through particular sponsors. Sponsors like Riara Universities, sponsors like 99 Flying Club. What they have actually done is that they've taken particular sponsorships for students who are very bright, but they're financially disadvantaged. And so they have sponsored these students to be able to come for the entire course. We have a group of students who are coming in from some coast schools, Taru Secondary School, Makinon Secondary School, Samburu Secondary Schools. There's a fourth one that my other colleague, Samson Chano.
so if someone can get a sponsor, then
exactly
the better for them.
This is basically what we wanted to do. We understand that most people are financially challenged. They cannot exactly afford the 15,000 shillings. So, for example, through the Standard Media Group, we've been engaging with a lady called Njoki Karuoya there. And previously, we have gone to schools like Dandora. We went to Dandora Secondary School with the dump site right next to us. And, they've got a lot of bright students there who really would like to be able to come, but their parents can't afford to come. But then there are organizations that are actually interested in reaching out to these students. So we challenge these organizations to come forward. Identify the students you would like to be able to sponsor, or if you do not identify them, we already have a list of students who are ready and willing to come. And then these students can then be able to come. Right now, we're waiting for confirmation for students from Kenya High School who are now being sponsored by 99 Flying Club, so that they can be able to attend. So the key thing here is that one should not start saying, the cost is too high, I cannot come. This is what we've been trying to say about some of these top universities in the world. They are looking for particular type of students like us, with color on our skin, or coming from disadvantaged backgrounds, or coming from Kenya, because when you now come to their classes, you're able to add that kind of diversity. So they are willing to offer you those kind of scholarships. In the same way, there are sponsors who are keen to bring in people into the educational sector. That's why, with all due respect, I really respect Dr. James Mwangi of Equity Bank. and the Equity Group Foundation and what they've been doing. They've been able to get some very bright students from out there who are seriously challenged and bring them into the program. And that's why even as I sit here, I rejoice with young boys like Martin Jeru, who's become a son of mine. It's with the Equity Group Foundation. And Martin is going to be able to come and be able to go through this kind of training. I rejoice with young men like Brian Gugi, who is in Nanyuki right now, who is able to come, and his good friend George and many others, who, by the way, they can't afford to come,